Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to today's episode of Soul in Spirit. I'm your host, Summer Paradiso, and today we are joined by Tiffany Williams, a very special guest. After serving in the U.S. Air Force and federal government, Tiffany was determined to reinvent herself. Healing and integrating the discipline, critical thinking, and pattern recognition she honed as an intelligence analyst. The pressure of working in combat zones and high-stakes environments ultimately led her inward, back to her passion, lineage, and lifelong love of music. She holds a master's degree in wellness and lifestyle management and certifications in Reiki, sound healing, and wellness coaching. She now leads immersive sound meditations, vocal activation experiences, and plant medicine ceremonies that shatter the patterns keeping women small, awaken embodied sovereignty, and facilitate profound, lasting transformation at a cellular level. I met Tiffany through just the group of women in this entrepreneur community, and I just love her. She comes from such a structured background in the military, and her journey from that environment into what she's doing now is just really remarkable. And I'm so glad that you guys get a chance to hear her story. There's another thing special about this episode because I've been kind of holding back on you guys. I haven't really talked about light language very much on the podcast. Now, if you follow me on TikTok or if you follow me on YouTube, you will have seen a little bit about light language. If you've only been hanging out here or on Instagram, you may not have heard about it as much. It's something that I plan to bring out a bit more now on the podcast because I'm going to do a private podcast specifically about light language. In this episode, Tiffany describes light language beautifully, so I will let you listen to her definition of it. And if you're interested in knowing more about light language, or just really curious, then please click the link in the show notes to join the waitlist for my private podcast that I will be bringing to you very soon. Tiffany also blesses us with her insanely beautiful voice at the end of this episode. And so I have to say that if you listen to this episode while you're driving or, on a walk, give yourself some space to sit or lie down for her light language transmission that she sings for us at the very end. It is beautiful. It is healing. It is very, very special. And so when you hear us start to talk about her singing for us towards the end of the episode, give yourself that chance to really sit with it and really be present for it. I'm so excited for you guys to be here, and I'm so excited for this interview. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. I am here with Tiffany from the Self Love Portal. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
I I'm so excited that you're here, and I just gave you this super official, amazing introduction. I would love, though, if you could tell everyone who you are and what you do to help people.
Hi, I use my voice to open people up to create a space of safety. I also use sound and I coach women through trusting themselves again, radical self-trust, embodiment, and just getting to a place where they can understand how their body is communicating, what their body is saying to them, and trusting their intuition and what that means. It looks like someone who may have been disconnected from their body for a number of years and just listens to what everybody else has to say, or maybe they're afraid to speak their truth, live their truth, express their truth. And I come in to illuminate what is already there, what may have been dormant, and just shine the flashlight for them to step into and embody their truth, their authentic expression, what they desire, what they're trying to call into their lives, be it singing, writing, speaking, communication, articulation. that is how I help women communicate. That's what I specialize in. And yes, my voice is the portal. The self-love portal is all about embodying self-love. If we start with ourselves, then we can help other people. But if we are empty, if we are depleted, if we are exhausted, there is nothing for us to offer.
Oh, so beautiful. If we can start with ourselves and we can help other people. When did you start with yourself?
Actually, it took a really long time to start with myself. I've always been a giver. I've always been a pleaser. I've always been someone who performs, like into the military, being in the military for 13 years, working in federal government for 5 years. I would say I probably started really tapping into like me, I would say maybe 5 years ago. I had a rude awakening into my health and wellness. I had to take back my health and start really caring about what my body was trying to say to me. I had thyroid issues, I had issues with my female organs, and until I slowed down and started paying attention to what my body wanted to say, it felt like a nightmare. It felt like betrayal. It felt like my body was betraying me, but really my body was just trying to communicate with me, trying to speak to me and show me the way back into my own rhythm, into self-trust, into being still and caring for myself. And so it was really hard for me to just sit still and like really be concerned with myself. I was trained to care for other people. Working in the military, it's a lot of programming and a lot of leadership, and none of it is really embodiment for me. It was more like take care of the mission, take care of the people. Your job is really important. Move on to the next task. Heavily surrounded by production. A lot of my worth was in production and what I could create. And so, using my brain, working in the intelligence field, and just using all of my smarts, all of the logic, all of the structure to get ahead, to lead, to help other people. And so, taking a step back to really be in my body was very foreign for me. It was like, what do you feel in your body? And I'm like, let me think of something intellectual to say instead of actually going to that body part and saying, I feel tension here, or this feels uneasy, or this is uncomfortable. It was more like, well, it sort of feels like, here's my explanation, here's my assessment. And it's like, even in therapy, I would talk so much. And when it got to doing somatic work, doing EMDR, that was a whole different story for me. I was like, wait, what? I can't talk my way through this problem. Like I thought that's what we were doing in talk therapy. So yeah, that was a rude awakening to coming back to my body for the first time and actually having to care for what I was doing. I guess what really magnified that was starting my master's in lifestyle management and wellness. Like, I found that to be such a healing modality for myself because I was learning about what it means to be well and live well spiritually, mentally, financially, emotionally, just taking in all of those factors of what it means to be well. And in doing that degree, I was like, wow, I'm really not living well. And here are all the ways I'm not living well. And it was a rude awakening, but it was also it felt like a lot of compassion for myself and a lot of coming home to myself and a lot of remembering what it was like to just be myself. So, yeah, it took some time,
Wow.
but I got there.
It's so interesting to me how being unwell is the contrast that a lot of us require to understand what being well is. It's like that huge pendulum swing that the universe is like, here, you need to be able to understand this. This is what sucks, and it can be on the other side.
Yeah.
So, can you just clarify for me, what is that degree with in wellness? Can you say that what kind of wellness was it again? The
It's
degree?
lifestyle management and wellness. I got
Okay.
it at Rowan University in New
Okay.
Jersey.
Okay, cool. So was that being in school doing that was what brought your awareness to like, I have to do something with my thyroid, with my
Yes.
femininity. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because I had already my thyroid was radiated about 15 years ago, and even though the radiation happened and they put you on a supplement and you take the medication, you can be taking medication and it doesn't work. You
Mm-hmm.
can go through all the blood tests, everything can look normal, but you know something is not normal. You know that your hormones are out of whack. You know that your hormones are like a roller coaster. You know that you can't keep weight off. You know that your metabolism is very slow and you're feeling sluggish and you feel emotional and depression, anxiety, sweating. All of those symptoms don't go away with the medication. And so it was really up to me to like investigate further. Like, I'm not going to have them up the dosage of medication because it's already not really working. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I had to really go in my body and figure it out. Okay, what's working for me? What's beginning to get elevated when I feel like this? What is happening with my blood pressure? What is happening with my heart rate? So, like, really listening to what my body needs and what it wants. I can follow all the rules and still have destruction happening in my body, and no one can explain it.
Let's talk about your voice for a second. And I have to mention this because it keeps coming to me when you're talking about how you're having issues with throat and then with feminine area. That's throat chakra and sacral chakra. And those, I talk about this with my clients all the time. I've talked about it on the podcast, how those are complementary colors. We have these chakras that complement each other. And so, how interesting that thyroid issues are like forcing you into depression, like forced feeling of emotion because they're both so out of whack, right? Now I really want to know, like, when did you find your voice that you use for healing? Was it after this thyroid thing?
Yes,
Oh,
actually. Yes, it
so
was. Because
cool.
I've been singing since I was 4. I always knew I wanted to be a singer. I just didn't know the power of my voice because growing up in the 90s, we had some pretty legendary people singing.
Mhm.
And it was like aspirations and goals to be like them. Whitney Houston, Mary J. Blige, Aretha Franklin, Sade, like everybody. I wanted to be like them. These are people my mom would listen to, and I would just rehearse and sing and be on the bed with my remote as a microphone and just busting it out. And so I always knew I wanted to sing, and I actually auditioned for American Idol once. I didn't make it,
Okay.
obviously, I'm here. Um, but yeah, singing was always a huge part of my journey, but I didn't know that there was so much power and healing in my voice because I was so caught up in the performance of it and measuring and competing and comparing myself to other vocals and vocalists. And yeah, I just really didn't know the power of it until I sat with plant medicine.
Mm.
Um, a little bit before I sat with plant medicine, I began speaking light language, and I didn't know that that's what it was. I knew I had this language, and anytime I grieve, anytime there would be grief around my life or sadness, it would come out. And I'm just like, okay, like this is prayer, growing up in church, speaking in tongues. And I thought maybe it's that. Maybe that's what this is. It's a form of prayer, it's a language that no one really knows, and I'll just sit with it. Years went by, lots of years went by, and I was just like, okay, I guess it's just mine. And when I sat with ayahuasca, and I was greeted by my ancestors. They were pretty much like, this is your language. This is for healing. And there are codes, there are messages, and you need to use it for healing. Like this, you're not crazy. This sacred language is your tool for healing, basically. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, the experience was amazing, like being in their presence. Like, they weren't using like words, but the conversation is from the mind and body and heart. And so some months went by, and I was like, okay. And I started speaking it more. And people around me would hear it, and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, I don't really know. It's a language that I somehow know. It wasn't something that was taught to me. It wasn't something I learned. It wasn't something I studied. It was there. It was like I woke up and it was like, here's your language. And I'm like, okay. And it's not like an English language where it can be something that you're translating. It's not like English words. It's not like specific, direct, like, this is exactly what I'm saying. No, it sounds like gibberish sometimes. It sounds like a song sometimes. And it's really about communication past the analytical mind, going into the subconscious and letting the body feel and surrender to the sound.
Mm.
Your body is surrendering to the sound. Your heart is picking up the signal. Some parts of your body may pick up the signal, but it's not for your brain to interpret. It's for you to feel. It's resonance. And so then I sat with plant medicine again, and I saw how my voice is moved through realms. I know that sounds insane, but I saw how
Not on this
my
podcast.
yeah, I saw how the tones and the notes and the sound of my voice can move through different realms, not just 3D. And I felt myself moving through a higher dimension with my voice, kind of like transporting with my voice and just watching the essence of my power move through a different realm. And then I was like, whoa, this is where it goes. Like, this is the love dimension, and this is a different dimension. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I felt this oneness with the universe, and I felt this oneness with the earth, and it felt ancient. It felt powerful. It felt like authority. And I was like, okay, I want to learn how to sing this. So as I would ask my ancestors for guidance, I'd pray about like, how do I learn how to sing a language that I don't know? Really, it's about trust. It's about trusting that, okay, you already know the language, so just let the sound come out. And really, I'm picking up on the energetic transmission around me. I'm picking up on energy around me, and I'm just decoding it without my brain. I'm using my voice to decode and pick up on the energy around me. And sometimes it's like moving with where my nervous system is because I am the system. So when my nervous system is relaxed, parasympathetic, I can pick up a lot of energy around me. If I'm stressed, I can still pick up the energy, but it'll sound very different. And also, it's like it's already there. Sometimes I'm not even picking up something, I'm just sensing from somewhere else what this is. I will consistently have a melody in my mind, a song in my mind, and I could sing it right now. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Or I could speak it, just talk to someone. And when I got Reiki certified, I felt comfortable with Reiki, but then I started using my voice for Reiki and
Mm.
I started to feel more comfortable with sensing energy with my voice. And so I do vocal Reiki by like I use my hands as well with Reiki, but just tapping into the energetic field and sensing what is around me, listening, allowing myself to be the perfect channel, the clear channel for what is around me. It's not about assuming or interpreting or giving advice. It's just about sensing the energy and letting it out. And then I started to do a little bit of research on it, and there's this woman who knows a bunch of different dialects of light language. So I sent her a voice sample, and that's when she told me it was Lemurian. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's really interesting. Now, I haven't had any like visions of Lemuria or anything like that. I just know that Western medicine tends to be very prescriptive. So I wasn't really like completely sold on like, oh my gosh, I speak Lemurian light language. This is what it is. I'm more interested in being guided by my heart and being guided by source as to what this language is and what it's doing and the power of it. So if it's Lemurian and people identify with that, great. But for me, it's really about trusting this power that is me, trusting the divine source that lives in me, that is me, and letting the sound be heard, letting the sound move energy, letting the sound tap into someone else's energetic field to send love, to send light, to send peace, to send harmony, letting harmony be felt through my voice, through my tone and sound.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You described part of that really beautifully that I hadn't really thought about before with light language and how it is this reading of the energy around, but like reading doesn't even feel like the right word for it. It is this like assessment acknowledgement of the energy, and it's like and then it flows through you. I just got some really beautiful visuals with that, so thank you, because it is not of the mind. And I do like that you mentioned too how we are so prescriptive in Western culture, in that, we love a box, we love a label, because it makes us feel like, we have a handle on things, because it's
Yeah.
overwhelming to think about light language as like, what do you mean you can't translate it directly? Like, that's terrifying for a lot of people. And all of this that you just described, Tiffany, is so outside of the box for many, is so indicative of your level of self-trust to be able to sing out light language, to be able to have this perceivably unshakable peace that you're embodying now. And I would wager that was not existent when you were in the military, when you were when you were in that kind of other form of the world. So you did this schooling for this wellness program. When did the trust come? Because I think a lot of people listening to this, they're like, "What? How do I?" They're intuitive. They know there's something and they feel it. And you help women. We both help women connect to their intuition, and we both know that the self-trust piece is so hard to grab onto. So for you, when was a moment where you were like, "Okay, I got the self-trust. I'm here."
Yeah, when I decided that I wanted to leave government and pursue coaching, and first it was coaching full time, and then I was working with like a couple of singing bowls, and I was like, this is cool. I like this. This is interesting, but I know coaching is a solid, like, I can make money from this. I've made money from this, so this is it. And then I found this sound healing certification. I was already playing with the bowls, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. Before that, I told my husband, I said, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think I can work for the government anymore. For what I want to do and where I want to go, I don't think I'm going to get there if I stay here. And he said, okay, we'll figure it out. I know that you're passionate about this, you're really good at it, and I support you. I love you. Do it. So we made a plan for me to leave government. And right around the same time I was leaving, they came out with a deferred resignation program where they pay you to the fiscal year. And I was like, what? I was leaving anyway, but if you're going to pay me to just be
Right.
gone, by all
Yeah.
means, pay me. So there was a lot of synchronicity around me deciding I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I had already left the military. Now this is the last step. I need to leave government for what I want to do. And more power to people who can stay in government and do both. I just couldn't. Given what I was doing in the military with special operations, counterintelligence, I couldn't really turn it off. So I was like, I can't be here and do both. And so I'm going to leave. And that step to leave was the first part of trusting myself enough to depend on myself and depend on the support that surrounds me to leave. So that was number one. And then after I left, I was like, well, we're really doing this. And so it was just like, keep moving forward. And when I went to do the first sound healing certification, it was like a level one. That was my first sound bath ever. And the way that Spirit and my team spoke to me and were like, this is the work. We bless you. We honor you. This is your work. This is it. There is nothing you need to search for. This is the work. And I was like, what? In a sound bath. And I'm like, it was so affirming and confirming. And I was just like, okay, well, this is it. I'm gonna do it. And then when I began to do sound and my voice together, I was like, whoa, I am capable of doing this. I can make money doing this. It wasn't even about the money. It was just more like I am decoding so much unhealthy patterns. I am releasing so much trauma. I am releasing so many burdens around my voice. And I'm really unlocking this power that has been dormant for so long. And once I started singing in light language, I was like, okay, this is cool. I can do this. And the more I trusted myself over everyone else, over everyone's opinion, because you tell people you speak light language and they're like, I don't even know what that is. Cool. I don't know what that means, but that's great. And then you start singing it, and then people are like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." And you get a little validation here and there, but then when your spiritual team starts to tell you and um, confirm for you, then you don't really need other people to do it for you. You know it's you. And so the more I practiced, the more I trusted, like just let myself be free in what I was creating, the more people started to surround me and affirm and confirm what I was doing, the more opportunities began to open up for me. Yeah, it was really like when I started to see wellness in my body was like the indicator. Okay, my thyroid is normal by blood test, but I'm not sweating. I don't have hormonal acne. What else? I didn't have fibroids anymore. These miracles just started happening in my life to show me like you are the blueprint for your healing, for everything you desire. And so keep trusting yourself, keep unraveling those patterns that told you different. And the more I unraveled those patterns, creating new neural pathways in my mind with neuroplasticity, a new pathway began to open. And the more you practice that pathway, the more you create more connections for the pathway, new patterns of behavior start to form in the body. And then the disease can't really stay there anymore. It's not like one, two, three, the disease is gone. It's repeated patterns over and over. It's choosing to be well. It's choosing to eat differently. It's choosing to exercise. It's choosing to meditate. It's choosing to have practices that bring wellness to your body, to your heart, to your mind. And so, in trusting that these practices are healing me, I can trust that it's possible for me to keep moving forward in this. Self trust begins with self love. And when you love yourself enough to create boundaries, when you love yourself enough to speak up for yourself, when you love yourself enough to know that you're in charge of this, no one's going to do the work for you. No one's going to live your life for you. No one's coming to save you. They can assist you, but they are not here in your mind. They can't force you to do the thing. They can't force you to believe in yourself. They can't force you to trust yourself. It starts with you. And if I have that much power, how much more could I do? And so I just started testing it. Let me see what I could do with this. Let me see what I could do with this instrument. Let me see how my voice will move through someone. Let me see what they are saying when I am singing over them. Let me see what they're sensing. Then I know it was real. And then I could trust, like, I have this power. I have this gift. Everybody has power. Everybody has a gift. Is do you trust yourself enough to pursue it?
Oh, it's a mic drop moment. Do you trust yourself enough to pursue it? No, that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love the intensity of your curiosity to like experiment with that. And I that is so special because I think a lot of people even struggle with that. They might have the curiosity, but there's a big fear in pursuing the experiment to see like, oh, what if this could happen or what if this could happen? And everyone's different, and that's why we do what we do to be able to help people move past that fear. I want to move little side note, you are singing for us at the end, to be very clear. I want to do all the talking part because I think I'm going to be so entranced that I'm not going to be able to ask you questions
Okay.
because your voice, guys, her voice is insane. Like, so I'm really excited. But I wanted to move into plant medicine because, side note, you just got back from Costa Rica and like literally a few days ago. So I know that you're still like integrating and doing all the things. I want to hear you can start wherever you want. Just this journey with, like, because there's a lot. I know there's a lot here. So, like, just this journey with plant medicine and how you're coming to facilitate it and what it can do for people. Like, just go off and riff, girl. I want to hear about some plant medicine.
Yeah, so bufo is the second medicine that I worked with. Bufo comes from a frog. It is bufotine once we burn it, and it's 5-MeO DMT once it is burned. DMT is something your body already creates when you are born and when you die. This medicine is basically like a chance to go home and be with Source, Divine, God, whatever you want to call it. It's a chance for your soul, for you to be a soul, for your soul to go where it came from. Here in the 3D, your body is taken care of by me or a shaman that you may be working with. I learned under my shaman. She created this course, and I'd been working with her for nearly 2 years. And I got so excited when she said she wanted to share and teach about the medicine because I was already learning so much under her. She's my mentor and my guide. And so when she came out with this program, I was like, yes, of course. And so I went there and we did 8 days of training. And again, Bufo, it's like your body's here and then your soul goes home. And so when I say go home, you're non-physical being. There's a you here and there's a non-physical you, and you get to go be one with the universe. Most of my journeys were, the beginning was scary because Bufo is two ways to get to Bufo. You can fight and go, or you can just go. Bufo is always going to win. And so you can surrender. And for someone who is very much logical, very much structured, likes control, likes to have a grasp on what is going on, who may not be in touch with their body, it's going to feel like a fight sometimes. But once you surrender, you get to see the universe, who you are, where you came from. You get to be this oneness. The journey is different every time and it's different for every person, but on a soul level, you're healing in another realm. You're getting to see who you are without pain, without suffering, without overthinking, without trying to control. It's like your ego dissolves and you see who you are without the programming, without the conditioning. You see yourself as a soul, as peace, as harmony, as love. Now, you might see some of your darkness, but it is all created with you. It's a narrative you created. We are light and darkness, and Bufo gives you a chance to see what that means on a soul level. Bufo's really good for people who have addictions. I know people who used to smoke weed every day and took Bufo and never smoked it again. Same with alcohol. Yeah, so it's a really safe medicine. It's a very transportive medicine. It's a very sacred medicine. It's just harmony and love. And for me, in doing Bufo a lot, throughout the training and then throughout the years that I've been with her, it has really helped me see myself outside of everything I learned. Everything I learned to become, to perform, to please, to just have this agenda for other people and just forget about myself. It helped me see like the essence of who I am, like how powerful is my voice? Let me see what I could do with it. What does this mean? What does it mean to connect with nature? What does it mean to be in nature? We are nature. Nature is always speaking to us. That's who we are. When we get so far away from it, we get disconnected and we think like we're not a part of it. But nature is literally the universal truth. Everybody has their own truth, but nature is the universal truth. Like nature doesn't lie. Nature doesn't ask. Nature doesn't demand. And being in Bufo, you get to see that and experience and be that like on a cellular level. You get to see how your subconscious is putting things together. How are you creating these stories? You get to see like your wounds. You get to see some of your lineage might come in. You get to make sense of why you're here. And so I love Bufo. It's a beautiful medicine. I also love Kambo. That's another medicine from the frog, and that is like a toxin for the body, energetic cleanse of the organs, cleanse of the lymphatic system, drainage, and just working with these medicines has really healed my life, transformed my mind, and showed me what it means to be still, to trust, to know, to come home to myself, to come home to who I am and why I'm here. So Bufo is the medicine that I'm certified to facilitate. And yeah, so I'll be opening up services for people to do that. But I know a lot of people will shy away from some plant medicines because some people get addicted, but Bufo is not one of those medicines. It helps with addiction. And for me, like, if I never did bufo again, I'd be okay. But I love it and it teaches me. It's like a doctor. It's not just like, oh, I take it and this is bufo. Bufo shows you how it works, how it is a super doctor. It is a medicine, but it'll show you the journey, the adventure, the being, the oneness of who you are. It'll show you how to heal. It'll give you the messages of encouragement, of enlightenment, of transformation. It'll show you how to work those things, not with your brain, but with your heart. Bufo goes to the receptors in your brain. So once it's in your brain, that's it. Like you can't overdose on it. It's not possible. So yeah, I love that medicine. I'm still integrating so much of what I've learned from it. And while you're in Bufo, your body, you may have somatic experiences. That's what we're here for, to facilitate what's happening with your body. And so it's like a big release and also like a big, I'm going home to see who I am, to see
Mhm.
what it's like to not be in this pain and suffering. And that shifts your perspective for how you live your life once you do come back into your body. So yeah, it's been a very transformative experience and I love my shaman. She's the best. She's 15 years of experience, so it was a lot of information, but I look forward to continuing to work with her and continue to journey through this process of healing and harmony.
Yes. Oh, and to be clear, because I needed this confirmation, we're not killing the frog. It's from an excretion on the
Yes.
frog. Yes. I know,
Yes,
like
yes.
everyone
Yeah,
listening is probably
we're
like,
part
Summer,
of that
why?
system. No one
Yeah.
owns that lineage, but yeah, it's secretion, not abuse. It's not like they go back every time and use the same frog. It's done during raining season. That's when they come out. Otherwise, they're underground the whole other time. Other parts of the season, they're underground.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a very sacred process. No one owns it, and it's not for profit. This is not a medicine where I'm like, I'm gonna get rich. No, it's for healing, it's for understanding, and it's for people to respect nature. That frog
Mhm.
is a part of nature, we're a part of nature, we respect it. It's not overproduction, it's a sacred process.
It's so Lion King vibes with Circle of Life. I'm like, so I'm here for it. I love it. I'm curious to know, is who is plant medicine not for? Is that a thing?
It's not for people who are looking to gain wealth,
Mm,
to exploit and not respect the traditions of the medicine, Shipibo traditions of the medicine. There are many traditions of plant medicine, and it's really about reverence and respect for it, not turning it into performance, not turning it into this big profit machine, and it's really for healing. It's really about respect for the tradition, understanding what it meant for them to sacrifice and give you the medicine, understanding how the medicine works, like sitting with the medicine, understanding the forces that come with the medicine spiritually, just a lot of respect for what the medicine is doing, because you can pick up the medicine, but if you are not in a space to receive it or respect it, it's not going to be a pleasant ride. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I know the government is doing a lot of things to promote medicine, but in my experience with things that government gets a hold of, especially medicine, is not great. And so,
I believe you since you worked in
I
government.
mean,
I'm
that's
like,
all I'm going to say on that.
yeah.
But the reverence, the respect, the taking time to educate and understand, yeah, that's a big part of plant medicine because it's not our access. You can't get it here. Someone's going to a jungle, someone's living in a jungle, someone's family, someone's traditional family is living there and taking care of these plants. We're not there. So you have to understand the origin, you have to understand who's making it, what are they doing to make it, what is the process. Like you need to have awareness on what that is. And if you have someone who's connected to the lineage and the tradition, then you will know these things. And that's the only way I'd work with medicine. I wouldn't just try to get it from some random person. I know where I'm getting my medicine from. I know how they're making it. Like I know the entire process. So just having situational awareness of that and yeah, having a good relationship with that person is a huge part of it.
Beautiful. I just love the reverence that you're talking about. There is just a beauty in this respect for whatever journey you're taken on. How long? Because I think you had shifted my mindset because I thought Bufo was like an ayahuasca trip where it was like really
Hmm.
long, but I believe you said it's much shorter, right? So
Yeah, it's
what
45
would it
minutes.
okay, so like what would it look like if someone came to you and they were like, Tiffany, I want a journey. I'm ready. Like what does that look like? What would you do?
Well, I would first have them fill out a health questionnaire because there are some things that are non-negotiable for doing the medicine, like SSIRs. You can't be on those. Alcohol, no alcohol within 72 hours, no other psychedelics or other drugs. So basically, you need to be healthy. No heart issues, no high blood pressure. Yeah, I'm focused on working with really healthy individuals because I'm just starting out, but a more experienced practitioner or shaman is happy to work with people with some of those issues. They can navigate a little bit more, but I'm keeping it on the safe side.
Yeah, girl.
It already is a safe medicine, but those are strict contradictions that can't really negotiate on that. Like if you're drinking alcohol, just think about the chemistry of your brain. The medicine is going to your brain. So if it's your brain is not communicating the way it needs to because there's something like medicine that's kind of altering that process, then the medicine can't do its work.
Hmm.
And because I'm there with your body, if your heart is not functioning well, then your brain can't communicate to your heart what it's supposed to be doing in that state. So yeah, I would sit down with you. I would go over the questionnaire, talk about your health, where you are, and just explain the experience to you. It could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour and a half, but I'm there to hold the space for you to go home. And when you come back, I'm there to greet you with love and joy and there to support you. Integration really happens when you're doing the medicine and then after, but it's not if you know what you're getting into, integration is not tough. Integration just looks like sitting, meditating, being with yourself, journaling, just letting yourself have the space to be there.
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know, guys. I don't know if you can tell that I'm like low key interested here. And so I've been continuously asking Tiffany about plant medicine just because I find it fascinating. I had one other question about plant medicine because you mentioned somatic experiences, and I started thinking back to times that I've done holotropic breath work where there's tetany and there's a lot of like jerky motions and your body can like jerk around or you might get the tetany in your hands. What kind of somatic experiences happen during Bufo that you've seen or felt yourself?
Yeah, same thing, same thing. There could be shaking, there could be accelerated heart rate, there could be legs shaking, hands moving, crying, laughing, just movement of the body. Some people scream, some people are very quiet, some people are just don't even move, just peaceful. But yeah, somatic experiences I've had, definitely crying, trying to undress. Yeah, that's normal. That's
Yeah.
completely normal, especially if you've been disassociating or not connected to your body. It can be really intense to connect back to those parts of your body. Yeah, you could be sweating or some people sing. I've had some experiences where I've sang hand movements. Yeah.
Very cool. Speaking of singing, Tiffany, I think it would be an absolute honor if you're open to it to sing to us. Would you be open?
I would. che calugei quema tolei kama sulei dana kuye kala lele shuka le sana que gosulei Kematu shumale kamata suge de la Kebatu shuyeli ke nanasa Kumatule siatina shaluke que cosuluni aniatu huatu suili kulubia que poteleta nu sheku Kimatulu yeni kasu Kematu eke ato suka le atu Imasuka le eshu Kekatule si Tikale asu que canalasu que paneshasu Iatule ashue kamati kaluje Kamatolu eti shami eko talena su Kipatulu she kamasugayu Que casana leta no se cuyeti tu de niñeza Kitana jaju she de lumadin de su galu Que kata shukali de kata nu sheki se ukanu de ye Kuye taluge sarau Summer kato shite no na shuketa Summer kasalina sukalishana Que kasulete jude kalesu Que mato suyeli
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh,
Switch this
I
back.
told you guys I wouldn't be able to talk after that. What's interesting is I have like a raspy throat now. So from you, like, there was something like loosening as you were
Mm,
singing there, which is really beautiful. So I believe I need to go paint and drink some tea and figure out what that is about.
yeah.
Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
sharing your gift with us, Tiffany. I know that anyone listening to this right now is like, oh my God, how do I find her, get a hold of her, follow her?
Mm.
We have your links in the show notes. Is there anything that you want to say to those who are listening to you right now?
I can't wait to work with you. Trust your heart, trust your body, and give yourself time. Time is always on your side, and the more you trust, the more you'll see. Whatever you want to create, it's in you to do it. It's in you to be it. It's in you to become it. So I can't wait to work with you and just continue spreading your love and your wings and your light and your harmony because we need it.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for listening to Soul in Spirit. If this episode moved you, sparked something, or just made you feel a little more like yourself, I'd be so grateful if you left a review or shared it with someone you love. It helps more souls find this space and join us in raising the collective vibration. If you have questions, thoughts, or just want to share what came up, I'd love to hear from you. DM me on Instagram or email me anytime. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep showing up, because the real magic shows up when you do. With so much love.